Welcome back to the Daily Rundown, and huge thanks to the women from the play Concrete Jungle. It's going to be on at Whitefield Garrick. That's from Monday the 25th of July all the way through to the 30th, so make sure you don't miss that. I've been rejoined by Mr. Tom Short and Mr. Ian Pattinson, and they're going to give us their something to say now. This is the part of the show where I throw the gauntlet down over. Is that what? That's the wrong that's the wrong saying, is it?
Well, you could slap us with the gauntlet, but then we'd have to fight.
I want to give you the power base, like the Olympic torch or something. This is where you get a chance to just say what you want to say here within reason. So it's total freedom almost.
I'll go first. Going off what I was saying earlier, what I don't know about sex ain't worth knowing.
Oh, right. Is this going to be a lesson to us?
It's not going to be that.
You give us a lesson, Tom.
I mean, I could do, but you know, even though we're past the watershed, I could not.
Oh. Wow.
Now, what I wanted to say was, I've had this feeling, particularly since Brexit, you know, pre and post, that everyone should get their news from more than one source.
Right.
Because I feel like too many of the general public's opinions are forged by this one source that they're getting it from, whether it be the Mirror, the Star, the Daily Mail, BBC, whereas, you know, you're not getting a fully rounded view of whatever's going on. I personally recommend Reddit World News, which is a website that has like an amalgamation of all different news articles, and you can get like from the Washington Post, New York Herald, you know, all sorts of stuff from all around the world regarding all sorts of issues as well.
So do you feel there's a lacking of balanced opinions being formed?
Yeah, and I think that it ultimately hampers debate and the ability to kind of bring people round to other, you know, ways of thinking and discussion when all you've had is this one kind of outlet telling you what to think. For example, you know, there are several newspapers that are not pro-Corbyn. And I've noticed, I remember I read, it was a comment on Facebook, and it was, really hate Jeremy Corbyn, and someone said, well, go on, and what policies of his don't you like? And they were like, I don't know, I just don't like Jeremy Corbyn. And it's like, well, that's clearly coming from somewhere that is, you know, their opinion's clearly being influenced by only, you know, one source.
I like you're trying to allude. Do you think that a lot of people, though, unfortunately, there's an element of society that base their opinions on that, on sound bites and headlines and the sort of sensationalist style writing, or would you say that's
yeah, social media is particularly bad for that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you only ever, you know, you end up in this echo chamber of everyone has the same opinion as yourself. So you never particularly get, you know, questioned on it. You know, like I, as a comic, have a whole load of people who are left, who are kind of quite liberal and lefty, and as a result you end up with an echo chamber of everyone, you know, in like 2010 going, everyone vote Ed, and because everyone was going, yeah, I reckon Ed's gonna win, and then we were very disappointed when it didn't happen because we didn't have anyone at all on the other side. So yeah, you know, that is also a criticism at myself, but it's very much a broad thing that I feel is like punctuating society, that these people are having opinions that are not being questioned because they're not seeking enough on both sides of the spectrum.
Do you think there's a lack of do you think there's a laziness in how we're sourcing our news stories?
Oh yeah, totally.
I mean, because obviously, and you're a writer, you know, you'd go.
I go off and do research every so often. It's confirmation bias. You like to read the stuff that says what you already think.
Ah, yeah, that's a good point.
And I got on Twitter. A lot of the people I follow on Twitter, they think similar things to me, but they're argumentative people, and they'll send information to back it up. But I also follow some people I disagree with.
On purpose.
On purpose, and occasionally to get into arguments.
Just for the crack, as it is under the
argument. As it is, yeah. Just every so often you have to challenge what you know. You have to look at what other people are saying about the subject, and then go out and see whether there's any truth to what they're saying.
Yeah.
And I don't read a paper as a rule. I don't generally read a paper. I get my news from Twitter, Radio 4, and The Guardian online. And I need to expand my reading a little bit.
That counts as reading a paper, though, doesn't it? If you're reading it online, it's still
A little
still
bit,
a publication.
yeah.
Thank you very much for that one, Tom. We were worried what you were going to bring in this evening, weren't we? But
Well, it was either going to be that or the fact that I've bought a massive crumpet. And I thought, well, am I going to be able to get 6 minutes out of that?
I feel like you probably could have, but anyway. Ian, thanks, Tom. Ian, what's your something to say this evening?
I want to know where the massive crumpet comes from. But I've joined a gym.
Ooh.
I've joined a gym, and it's all because of this couch.
Why?
This couch. I mean, you can't sit up straight on it. You're slouching, and if you're sat in that position there, as I have done most of the times you're here.
We're all looking at ourselves.
Tom's doing it, giving it full justice, but I don't know. The way I sit, I can see my gut, and my beer belly's bigger than it's been for a while, and it's just. And looking back at these, some of these episodes on YouTube, I've discovered shallows of vanity I never knew I had. And I thought,
That's a slippery slope, Ian.
really,
that's a slippery slope.
I'm not going to do nothing cosmetic.
Botox
I have
and all the
to
rest.
actually work for it. I have to lose it through work. There's nothing that involves needles will be involved in this need to lose weight that I suddenly have. So I've joined a gym. Luckily, where I live, there is now a gym practically downstairs from me.
That is actually an important point because
And it's 24 hours, and I can go
hard.
there quite easily.
I think that's half the battle.
And it
It just shows it's so
opened.
close.
It opened 2 weeks ago, and I signed up last week. And
Have you been?
I've been twice
good.
now. I mean, normally I would cycle, but this year the weather's just horrendous. I used to get my exercise by cycling, and it's just been pouring down all this
Has it
year.
stopped?
And now that I've joined the gym, of course, within a week of me joining the gym, it looks like the weather's getting better.
It's
So
on the
back out on
turn.
the bike. But
Have you been in the gym before?
not since like 2001.
Right. So do you feel? I mean, the world's gone so body conscious now, isn't it? You know, paleo diets, vegan diets. Are you beach body ready? Advertisements on the tube.
I'm beach
and all
ball
this
ready.
kind.
Definitely beach ball, mate.
Oh, stop it! But would you find it intimidating walking into a gym now?
No, because there are lots of people who are in the same position as me, and they feel that they're a little bit overweight and they'd like to lose a bit of weight. And they're like, I'm joking a little bit about the vanity. It's not just the vanity. I'd like to get my stamina back. I used to cycle many miles a week, and I used to have a decent amount of stamina where I would come back and go to my mates in the pub and go, I've just been out for a short cycle ride. And they go, oh, well, what, 4 or 5 miles? I'm 30. I'm just 30.
Wow.
That's a short ride.
30.
It used to be that just I get on the bike and I'd head off, and then I'd get lost, and then I'd just find my way back. And I used to do it with an A to Z back in the day, and I used to, every so often I'd go off the edge of the map, and that was when things got bad and I went off the edge of the map of the A to Z, and finding my way back could be a bit tricky. Now you've got the phone, but it's I used to be a lot fitter, and I've always enjoyed food, and I've always enjoyed a bit of a drink, but I always used to be active enough that, you know, I never had a six-pack, I've never been skinny, but I used to be a lot trimmer than I am now. I used to be able to carry the weight and exercise and burn most of the calories off. And I've lost that in the last year and this year because the weather's been so appalling. I've not got out on my bike, and I put on weight, and I've lost my stamina, and I'd just like to get my energy back and not be ashamed to be on that end of the couch.
You want? So this is a strategic move this evening to sit here, was it?
Yes, absolutely. Well, no, Tom said he wanted to sit there because he always sits there.
It's difficult, I think, sometimes to sit in the middle though, because you're kind of got the tennis ball thing going on there. Where do you look? And that, like you said, you have to prop yourself up. But fair play to you, Ian, because I think it's very hard to join a gym, and I think it's really hard to get back into any kind of an exercise program if you haven't.
I'm gonna have to get myself a Walkman or something because the music they play in gyms is appalling. Really.
Banging. It's motivating when it's shouty. And,
it's horrible.
It's aggressive.
It's not just me showing my age. It was horrible back when I went to a gym in 20 years ago.
What was it still banging? Oh, it's louder than that, Tom. It's louder than
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's louder than that.
And they've got TV screens you can't quite see, showing the videos for songs you don't recognise because you can't quite hear it. All you can hear is the bass, and you just know that they're awful. That's all you can recognise about them is they're awful.
I've only been in a gym once. Not in a gym. I've only been a member of a gym once. It was for a few years when I lived in London, and obviously everyone's in the gym. Because everyone's so busy in London, they have to be, if they're not at work, they're at the gym or they're doing something amazing, aren't they? But I joined the gym because I felt peer pressured, And they had the gym I was in had like 50,000 televisions on the wall. They had every channel, and you know, it was like being on the plane, you know, where you tune into your channel. I mean, I know I sound like my own mother or something here, like that's amazing. I know it's not a massive thing to achieve, but I couldn't believe that all the entertainment.
That would be better. My gym
I think it's
doesn't
kind of
have
sad
that.
though. I think you should just go there and be still and focus on your exercise. And you know, we're all about mindfulness now as well, aren't we? Why don't you just go there and count your steps or something? Count your cross trainer steps.
Cycle for half an hour on a cycle that goes nowhere.
If you go cycling,
it does seem weird that I've given that because I can't cycle anymore. I'm going to sitting doors and sitting on a cycle that doesn't move. And that's the other thing I miss about cycling is you go to interesting places. I head off along rivers and up and down valleys and find new and interesting stuff. Take photos, come back. It's not as much. I mean, if you're staring at things in the gym, you're likely to get punched.
you have to be careful. You have to follow gym etiquette.
I used to have a joke. Exercise bike, isn't that any bike?
Yeah.
Yeah, as you can see, that's why I stopped doing it. But that's just the thoughts right there.
The thing about cycling though as well, obviously, whether it's stationary, as in it's not going anywhere, or a real one, it's just guaranteed buns of steel, isn't it?
I hope so. I really do.
That's the goal. Yeah. Maybe you can chart your success with the gym over the next while, Ian, if you want.
Well, I'll come back when I feel happy sitting there.
Well, we know we see that.
I'll just every so often I've got to come back now every other week, and I've got to sit there and I've got to track it over the video how my gut goes and whether I get decent develop decent muscles on the arms.
You can do a time lapse.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks very much for your somethings to say, gentlemen. We're going into our last break of the show, would you believe? It's gone really, really quickly this evening. Don't go anywhere because we still have the and finalies coming up in just a few minutes. See you soon.